This is Pastor Gary with Gracepoint Refuel, and we just want to share with you that God has already prepared your victory. We know that spiritual battles are real, difficult situations, conflict, hard times. However, did you know God has already prepared the mountaintop experience for you? We've been looking in our series, and one of the things that we brought out this past Sunday is Psalms chapter 23 and verses 3 and 4. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I want you to look at verse 4. Yes, yea, though I walk, keep in mind you're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. In order to understand this, we need to understand the seasons for the sheep. There's the springtime when the sheep tend to graze close to home, but in the summertime, the shepherd leads the sheep to graze in various prearranged pastures as they travel to higher elevations. We're talking about the mountaintop experience for the sheep. In the summertime, this is necessary because the climate is cooler in the summertime when you're on the higher elevations. So the shepherd leads his sheep out to higher elevations with predetermined pastures as to where they are going to go. So I want you to keep this in mind, that God has already prepared the places in which you will go as you trust in him and depend on him. And sometimes what we need to realize is that God leads us through the valley of the shadow of death. It doesn't sound like a good experience, does it? But keep in mind, it's not death itself. It's only the shadow of death, the intimidation of it. But the word of God says you should fear no evil because God is with you. So I want you to keep this in mind. The only way to get to the mountaintop experience that God has prepared for you is to go through the valley, for each valley leads to the mountaintop. There's no fast way to get up to the mountaintop. You can't take a gondola. You can't take a helicopter. There's no plane that will land up there. What you need to do is walk. Put one foot in front of the other and keep walking to the place where God is leading you, even though you're going through a difficult situation and a hard time. The point is, don't fear the devil, don't fear evil, don't fear the demons. Keep trusting and depending on God because he has already prepared for you a table in the presence of your enemies. The table meaning the top of the mountain. There's high plains, that awesome experience, that deeper level that God is taking you to has already been prepared. All you need to do is keep on walking. So I'm encouraging you to put one foot in front of the other, spiritually speaking, and keep trusting and keep leaning on God. Verse 5, you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. God has already prepared the blessings for you. All you need to do is keep on walking. I want to encourage you this week, for what's left of the week, keep walking, keep trusting, keep leaning on God, because he's taking you to the mountaintop. But the only way to get there is through the valley. Keep trusting and depending on God as you walk through.